when I do streams myself, just like personal build streams and stuff, I always have people coming from Twitch. They're like, "What the hell is this?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? You're
Yes, we're live. We're live.
We're live.
Okay, can you guys double check? From my screen it says we are. I just refreshed it.
Refreshing now.
Check.
Not even. It's not working for
Oh
me.
yeah, we're live according to my screen too.
It says live, and I don't see anything.
What
Yeah.
the hell?
Oh no, I
Oh,
see
no,
myself.
I see it. I see it now.
Yeah, I see you asking if we live.
Oh, here we go.
It's
It's
working
good for me now too.
Okay, cool.
I think it like
Oh my
started
god,
and
I
like
should
ended
clean up
itself.
my apartment.
Yay! Looks like chat's agreeing with us. So let me run this little video intro thing that we like to do. Okay, and we're live.
Okay. Okay. Hi everyone. Okay. I just have a black in here, so I only started the video intro. Hey everyone, welcome to the Top Clack. My name is Bektour. Here's my co-host Huey and Brian, and today we're being joined by Calder Wooting, the analog keyboard company. They're doing a lot of great job and been very successful on Kickstarter. And well, you probably see them on our Tokyo Meetup last year, and also our mechanical keyboards. So, welcome.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. First time, so.
Don't worry, you won't want to come back. So.
The show's going to stay for a couple of years, right? So.
Yeah. So how about you give us a quick background of what Wooting is, like what you guys do and what you're trying to actually accomplish in this community.
Yeah, so I can be quite the talker, so I'll try to keep things short as possible.
That's okay. That's okay.
But in short, we make an analog mechanical keyboard, meaning that it can sense how far down you press a key, and it's a mechanical keyboard. It's optical, and it has a lot of great features. And we started with a Kickstarter, and well, we started actually on the mechanical keyboard community when we just introduced the keyboard, and asking for feedback, up to the point that we announced analog, and then we went to Kickstarter, where we got funded. And I think in this last a little bit more than half a year, we've been making some change and improving the keyboard. And now in 14 days, the mass production will start, and we can start shipping out the keyboards. So that is in a nutshell. And I'm Calder, and I'm one of the three guys behind Wooting. There's two other guys called Erik and Jeroen. Jeroen, maybe Jeroen will jump in later, but there's a very low chance. And Erik is right now traveling in Germany, sleeping. For something secret that we're doing. I'm in Taiwan, so that's why I can be here, but he can't.
So, as a company, Wooting, you only have the one product currently on the market, right? Or about to be on the market, or do you work on other projects as well?
Yeah, so we just have the Wooting one. It's our main product. It's what we've been focusing on. We've been thinking about our next project already, but we didn't spend any time on it yet because we wanted to make sure that the Wooting one would be all perfect and good. But as soon as that one goes out, we'll slowly start the initial plans for our next project, which is a little bit too early to share something about. But yeah, we're planning to have more products out eventually.
Awesome.
Cool.
Great
to hear.
Can you talk a little bit about, like in detail, what the Wooting 1 is and why people might want it?
Yeah, so the Wooting 1 I think what strikes most people is just the analog future, meaning that when it can read exactly how far down you press the key, and you can translate that in different things. And the way we translate it right now is for games. So as you could have in a game with a controller, you have the analog sticks, and you can exactly move your character movement with these analog sticks with granular input. Now, in the keyboard, you can't do that at the moment. It's either you turn it on or it's off, and sometimes the developer adds a small delay to give you a feeling for it, but reality is you can't control your movement, really. So with our keyboard, you can do that now, and that's the striking thing about the keyboard. But there are a lot of other things about it as well that don't often get the attention, is that the whole entire keyboard is also optical, using optical switches, meaning that it's not your traditional conductivity, is that the word, type of mechanical keyboard.
Yeah.
And that comes also with a lot of benefits, but I will not jump too much into a sales talk here, so keep it to that. Yeah.
That's fair. I'm kind of curious about, I'm sure other people might be, is what kind of switches are you using in this board?
Yeah, so we're using FlareTech switches. Now I have them here. So these are new switches that are not on the market yet. We're the first. I don't know if it's ever going to focus because it's on auto. Let me put my face away. It's never going to focus.
Oh
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a FlareTech switch, and it's not on the market yet. And we'll be the first keyboard to have it on the market with. And basically, it's an optical switch, meaning that on the keyboard, on the PCBA of the keyboard, there's an IR and a receiver. And basically the infrared light, and I don't know if you're going to see it, but there's like two, not this one at the bottom, but here on the top, there's two boxes there. So in one of them, the infrared light goes in, and the other one, it goes out into the receiver. And based on how far down you press the key, more light goes through. And the more light goes through, the stronger the signal is. And that's how we would read analog from each switch. And if you're wondering, that big hole underneath, that is for the LED light. There's only two versions of the switch. I just showed the red one, and this is the blue one, even though, look at the color.
Is it the same thing?
It's orange.
Oh, okay.
But it is it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, it's exactly the same thing, but it has like you know how a blue switch has like this plastic. I mean, I don't have to explain to you guys, right? It has this plastic.
the clicky mechanism.
Well, it's so different. Anyway,
we all get it here.
Yeah, blue switches have the plastic piece inside, which makes the actual click sound because it bounces once it makes contact with the metal on the side. I don't know how to call that thing. So yeah, that piece, they made it orange. So we should have actually called it orange switch, but when we started, we started like red, blue, because it's most similar. Everybody knows what it is, but they look very similar. So
So I'm actually kind of curious. Wouldn't linear switches be vastly preferred in an analog environment to something that has disruption on the way down, like a tactile or clicky switch?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, we also recommend the red switch in general for the whole analog experience. But right now, when you use the blue switch and you try to use it in games for analog, the bump on this blue switch, and maybe you can't hear it, the bump, but there's something else you can hear. But the bump is so light, unlike with Cherry, you would really feel some kind of almost like a shock going up, right? I don't know how to explain this, but I always feel like if you would shock your finger on some electricity, I don't know what the right word is for it, you would feel like a small bump against your finger, kind of like Apple Force Touch, right? How they do it. Like it kind of
yes.
similar, yeah. You kind of have like a similar feeling on the Cherry one, but this one, it's it doesn't have it. It doesn't like jump, or it doesn't like, I don't know how to explain it. In other words, feelings, right? But it's not that much, so it's not that bad actually when you play on the blue switch. And sometimes it's even nicer because of the click sound. You'll know when to expect. You'll know where you are during the press, and it can be really useful because sometimes you're looking for the beginning point or the ending point, and then because of the click, you'll know where you are. And with this particular blue switch, there are 2 clicks. There's a click on the down, which is about 1 point. When we measure it, it's like around the 1.9 millimeter. So, but there's also another click on the way up, which is about 1 millimeter. So there's 2 clicks.
Interesting. I'd be really curious to see how that actually affects something that is kind of reliant on analog.
I actually got to try it last week at the Wooting's office.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I like the blue switches. They feel really like they have that Northgate Omni key with white Alps. That's exactly how they feel. At least in my opinion, that's like the closest cherry thing that I know that feels like that. It's very interesting.
You're muted.
Yeah.
As usual.
Yes, but yes, I'm agreeing with Bektour.
Yeah.
But actually, yeah. So it's great that you say they feel nice. I actually have a question, Calder. You know, as all of us are, you know, we are Switch enthusiasts. We love modding switches, changing them up. Will the springs be swappable in the switches? And because you said it can detect where you are in the actuation for non-gaming purposes, for just normal typing, could we, as users, set the actuation to where we want it to be?
Both is yes, in short. Cool. They use the regular cherry type springs, so you can use any kind of cherry type springs. Personally, for you guys, anybody that ordered one, I do recommend doing a spring replacement because right now I'm not too happy. Personally, okay, I'm not too happy with the current springs because they can be better. I know it can be better, so. That's something I'm still working on. So in that way, I would say I would definitely recommend to do a spring replacement. And it has nothing to do with weight, but just, I don't know, it's like this feeling, you know.
We're very in tune with that kind of enthusiast.
Yeah, that's really exciting to hear, though. I mean, recently I did a review on the Real Force RGB board, and it's the first board that hit the market with like changeable actuation, where with one button you can change actuation because the capacitance is similar, where it can detect how far down. And
so with changing the activation point, the activation, like right now, the thing we're doing right now is testing the latest switches again. We've been going through so many switch iterations, and it's all about having this analog range and how far can we push the range. Because it's optical, it's also a bit sensitive to movements, right? So we've been working really, really hard to get as much range as possible, but still maintaining stability in the switch. And right now, you can change that activation point anywhere in that analog range. And we actually, in our, we call it Wootility, the software to change stuff on your keyboard, basically. Unlike Real Force, you can there's like 4 keys, I think. You can change the activation point to 4 different settings or 3 different settings. I kind of forgot how many, but we have what you can do with our keyboard is on the software you can change the activation point for the 4 different profiles on the keyboard with a slider from 0 to 100, and that would be anywhere in analog range. Effectively, I think you would only notice maybe 3 different steps, I guess, because you're talking about like really small distances, but. But it is possible to adjust it anywhere on the range.
Awesome, that's awesome.
Okay, you did mention that you can swap out the springs because they are the normal cherry size. How about something like lubing? Do you think these switches would take well to an enthusiast-grade lube job?
Honestly, yeah, well, that's a good question because I've wondered what the effect would be. Because I've never tried. I mean, I have to be very honest. I haven't built my own keyboard or played around with Switch to an extent that I've started lubing or really changing a lot of stuff. I mean, I've been going through these switches a lot and a couple of cherry switches a lot to look and compare. But I think lubing. I don't think lubing. Depends on how good of a job you do, because I'm a little bit afraid if you spill over one of the lenses, it might disrupt the signal. So
that's exactly why I ask. Because in like a normal cherry style switch, it's easy. Either the slider is down and it's pushing the leaf together or not, so it's either on or off. You can't really mess that up with lube. But in an optical switch, lube might actually be an issue.
I think. Oh, if anybody from the community ordered a Wooting 1, I recommend you to take one of the extra switches you receive and give it a try. I'm very curious. Let me know.
On a similar note, one of the bigger things that's been on the market in the last year or two is like plates that will have cutouts for switch top removal. So people can actually take the tops off of their switch, and they can work on the switches while they're still soldered into the keyboard.
Oh, right.
Does the Wooting feature something like that, or would I have to desolder all of the switches, pull them out, work on them, and then put them back in?
Well, I guess that comes to the point of why optical's so awesome in this case, because you don't solder anything, you just plug it out. Similar idea to the what's it called? CIY is, I think, the
hot swappable
keyboard, and they call it CIY. I guess customize it yourself or something.
Yeah,
I don't know what.
The Team Wolf Zook board or whatever.
Yeah. So I mean, the idea is similar, as in you can take out every switch. Obviously, the way it's connected and how it feels is totally different. I've never tried one of their keyboards, by the way, but let me show you here. There's this magnificent thing. This you'll recognize. This part, nobody would recommend. I think nobody of this community would recommend using this one for taking off keycaps, though.
Yeah, that's true. We all like our metal pullers.
Yeah, let me see. I got one here. So, this is from Ducky, so oh my god. This would be more recommended, right? So, and I know why. When you're doing the modifiers, there's always it can get dangerous, plucking out modifiers. Anyway, so this other side is the switch puller. So basically, you can grab it like this, and you can put it on the switch. You squeeze it together, and it goes out of its clips, and you can get it out. And wait, what am I doing? I have the keyboard right here.
Yay!
Yay! Okay, so here's the keyboard. Why didn't I show it in the beginning? Okay, so I don't know if you can see it. Okay, so here I put it on, and I just squeeze, and I can take it out, and there you have it. Like,
wow.
It's plugged in and everything. So you can just hot swap it whatever you want.
That's fantastic.
That is fantastic.
And it clicks back in again. Now I don't know if what kind of experience people have had with hot swappable keyboards until so far, but I've tried one of those. Epic Gear has these. Epic Gear also has these hot swappable keyboards now, right? With this same CIY style, and I thought at the beginning, oh, that's really cool. They started doing it. They have their own switch and everything. And then I was in the shop where they had this like testing model, and I tried it. And I was like, oh my god, it's so bad. It was so bad. I literally just like, when you press a keycap like this, right? Like if you did it often enough, the switch could pop out.
Oh wow!
It's really terrible, and yeah, it was quite. So I just want to say that the experience here is totally different. They're quite sturdy, so yeah.
I tried the hot swappable feature on Wooting myself, and they're really sitting really sturdy in there. I was quite surprised. I think Eric was trying to take it out, and he had to do it with two hands and
Cool. That's awesome that we have that feature, though. That will allow us to swap springs and experiment in other ways on the switches much easier.
And I definitely recommend to do it. I'm really curious what will happen, and maybe somebody will find a good mod that we might want to implement.
What weight are the springs in the linear model?
55 grams to activation point of 2 millimeters. Yeah.
Okay, so
2 millimeters would be 55. Yeah.
Do you know what the bottom out weight is? Probably like around 70.
Honestly, I'm not sure. Honestly,
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, if it actuates at 55 grams, the bottom out's probably going to be anywhere from 65 to 75 usually. For example, I'm pretty sure a 67 gram Zelios actuates at 55. So obviously not all springs are created equal. So
I hope so.
But that sounds like a pretty safe weight to me.
Yeah.
I was afraid it was going to be something more akin to like a Cherry MX Red, which is the 45 gram actuation, and it bottoms out around like 55 to 60. Excuse me. And I think that would be just too light for a good analog experience. So I think having a slightly heavier spring there is a good idea. I'm glad you guys went that route.
I agree. I've been trying different switches. When I personally really dislike red switches in general because they're too light. But 55 grams are more my type of weight. I can do a bit heavier. When I type on cherries, I would rather type on was it not this one? Nope.
Blacks.
No, it's clear, I think.
Oh, am I clear?
Yeah, they're a little bit heavier, right? I forgot. I always confuse the white with the clear. So, but they're a little bit heavier. Have a slight bump also.
Yeah. Clears have
It's clears, right?
a 65 gram actuation, and it's
Yeah. So it's
like
clears.
almost a 100 gram spring.
Yeah, so I'm more of a clear. If I type on cherry, I would rather have clears, but typing in general, I'd rather do it a tauper.
Yeah, fair enough. So are a lot of us.
Yeah.
A question I'm seeing in chat that's actually pretty good. I don't want to forget this one. Is what kind of stabilizers does the Wooting one use?
Oh, that's. I want to say, well, that's a really interesting story, but maybe for this community, it is an interesting story. Started off when we just started. Okay, we use cherry, the standard cherry type of stabilizer, so it's compatible with everything. In other words.
Yeah, the flare tech stems are the same cross point as cherry. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So you can use any aftermarket keycaps. I think what you can see here.
So it's plate mounted cherry.
Yep.
Yeah, plate mounted. So the big thing though was that in the beginning, when they gave me the first version it had of these stabilizers, I didn't like it. As in, when I pressed it, when it would come back, it would kind of like vibrate a bit on the top. I don't know how to explain it. Felt like it came back twice. So after a lot of bitching, they went to another supplier and we changed it, and now I'm so happy with it. It's like a nice thumb. Yeah.
Nice.
Are they made out of clear plastic?
No, they're
No.
black.
I think I just
Uh-oh.
accidentally clicked my camera. Sorry there. Yeah, my space bar clicked my camera for somehow. Yeah.
It's still off.
Oh really? I put it
Yeah.
on though. Alright. Let me turn it off again.
Turning it off and turning it back on again is always the right solution.
Yes.
Oh, weird. It didn't work.
No.
Didn't work?
No.
It looks like it's like trying to go, and then it just goes back to the no picture thing.
Oh. Okay. You might have to give me a call again. Oh no. Is there something? No. Okay. I'll try it one more time.
Yeah.
It tries so hard for like 2 seconds.
Welcome to Top
Skype.
Nothing ever always goes right on Top Clack. So this is very
magic
par for
of
the
live streaming, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know.
Okay, so
we can just recall you, I guess.
Yeah, recall me. Throw me out. Or I'll hang up. Yeah, I'll hang up. Wait.
Do
Oh wait,
that.
I'll just hang up and call in again. Wait.
That works too. I forgot that you could do that on Skype.
Yeah, you
You
can
can get yourself back into calls.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Hey. There we go. Okay, awesome. Okay,
Okay.
sorry for that.
That's okay, so plate mount stabilizers, Cherry compatible. So that's cool. So you'll be able to use all your Cherry MXT sets on this board. Is the layout completely standard?
Yes. So double check. I turned off the LED so it wouldn't shine too hard.
Yep, that's
Okay,
standard.
so, TKL. Is there a full size version, or is the TKL model the only one?
TKL is the only model. Yeah.
Okay,
We specifically
nobody uses full sizes anyway.
yeah. When we started, my first opinion was like, oh, we're not gonna make a full size. I hate full size.
Good.
And now after a while, if I could have, I would have even gone smaller. But that would have not gone well for game community wise. Yeah.
That's true. See, people like us, we would have been really much more into the 60% version. I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm like, okay, sign me up. I'll pre-order one of those.
60% is the life.
Well, even TKL is just a little bit too big. It's too awkward for me while gaming.
Yeah, I think Jeroen is using a 60% from Keyboard Paradise, and in the beginning he was very naive. Very skeptic. That's the word. Very skeptical about it. Like, what does it matter? It's 60 or it's like big. I don't care. Yeah, he sang another song when once he had it. It was like, oh yeah, I like it so much, but I don't want to go back to another keyboard.
Good.
So, it makes your desk feel like you have so much more room.
And something you don't want to miss out on that room you've been using.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for 100%. I think that's the biggest thing for him also. And you get used to the shortcuts and the bypasses for things you would otherwise need. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you get used to the function rows real quick.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, how about we touch on a couple more things about the keyboard, so people are more well informed. Programmability. Can you remap every key?
Well, so we're making the utility has we just made a new utility. Let's see. Okay, we have
utility. Oh, this is so
utility.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's like cheesy, but in the best way.
Yeah. I mean, we already chose for the name Wooting, so I think it's one of the fun parts. Having this company is just we can make our own decisions, and it can be as lame as we want it to be. We don't have to care too much about formalities, and I really love that. So we can just do what we want. And for us, it's the most important thing is what does the community think? What do the people think about it? Do they like it, or does it fit with them? I really don't care if maybe a business partner or somebody in the same industry has an opinion about it. I don't give a shit. I give a shit about what people are actually using it think about it. So, but sorry. So we have an old version and we have a new version. We made this big change to the new version recently. Looks really nice now. This old version looked really crap. Was only for Windows that time. And in this old one, you could change every single key on the keyboard to another key. Literally, but in this new version we haven't implemented it yet, or will implement it. We're not sure yet, because programmability is definitely some of the things that I'm always telling Jeroen and Erik, okay, we should really have it in there. That's why it was in the old one, and it should also be in the new one. But it really depends on if a lot of people ask for it and really want it, then we can start implementing it. Because the logic is there, it's just that putting it into the GUI, how we're going to best put it in and how we're going to implement it, is going to cost work, and it's not high in our priority list right now.
Yeah, I think it also kind of depends on what market you're really targeting, because if you're targeting an actual enthusiast market, like people like myself, Huey, and Bektour, we want a really enthusiast great experience, and we want that full programmability to be able to change whatever we want. But people on the main consumer, the mainstream gamer line or whatever, they tend to care a lot less because they don't remap.
Brian, you cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
okay,
it's censorship.
I'm here, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's what you just said is you're entirely right. It's because of the more gamer focus we have right now that what's on the priority list. The highest is what accommodates the most for the gamers, and then as you go more down, it comes a mix of what accommodates more for a mechanical enthusiast. As in the beginning, we were swapped around because we didn't announce anything about analog yet, and now we swapped it around because analog was introduced, and now it's mainly a gaming keyboard.
Yeah.
But full programmability, well, another reason why we put it lower on the priority list is because we had people ask, like, can we change it to Dovrak or Colmac and other language layouts? And we're like, well, you don't need the keyboard to be programmable to do that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, but for a lot of people, I'm a Dvorak user. It's nice having a keyboard itself that is Dvorak, so I can bring it and take it to another computer and use another computer that's not set.
Though, that does make sense though. I think because of that, because that user case doesn't happen with gamers. It isn't that high on the list.
Definitely understandable.
That's fair. I mean, I think everyone's going to, everyone in chat at least, and all of us are just going to be like, yeah, we want the programmability, but you know, if you're not going to be implementing that, then I think
yet.
Okay. Yes. If that is there, even like eventually, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I think with the first version of the software, because it's really the limitation is in the software, and perhaps once you really want to program multiple profiles, it becomes an issue on the memory, because memory-wise, for example, the whole RGB story on the keyboard, memory-wise, takes up a lot of space. Like, my God, we were really surprised how much stupid RGB functions take. So eventually, I think we will come to a point where if programmability becomes a thing, and we need to make concessions with how we're going to do with memory. If you want to have multiple profiles for other things. But that's something that really depends on what kind of reactions we get and where people will guide us to what is more important. And simple things like swapping caps lock with shift and or control caps lock, those kind of things. We'll be adding them as a toggle button. So that's definitely something you can change. Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm seeing a lot of questions in chat, and that's cool, but save them for a Q&A segment. At the end of every episode, we do a Q&A segment the last 20
Okay, cool.
So, and yeah, because people in chat are obviously really curious about this, and there's a lot of questions that we're not going to get to right now. But save those, and we'll get to them later.
Your microphone's so weird, Brian. Every now and then you'll just like trail off as you get really, really far away, and then you'll like go back to us.
I wonder.
It looked good on my side, though.
That's strange. I wonder if I had it too close.
Gotta hit Josh up.
Damn you, pluggable! Okay, so earlier you mentioned RGB.
Sorry, I'm making all these signatures. Wait, Yenny? Can you come here? She just gave me coffee and gave me some food. You want to say hi?
Yeah, sure.
This is my wife.
Hello, guys.
Oh.
Oh, so cozy here.
She's always a really big part of everything I do. So I feel it's always good to show her because otherwise she does a lot for me in the background.
I'm a super assistant. So.
Yeah, she's.
No.
Yeah, because. She gives me a lot of time to focus on other things than personal stuff. private stuff, you know, your daily things. Yeah, I don't have to focus on it too much, so I can just do what I want to do. So, okay, just wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Have fun.
That's awesome. I think anybody that is in that situation knows that having a significant other that's actually like supports you in doing this kind of thing. Because a lot of times in the community you hear like, "Oh my God, my wife's gonna kill me if I buy a keyboard and do this." And I'm like, I don't have that problem. Like my girlfriend has like 6 keyboards right next to me, so like she's in as deep as I am. So it's cool to have that.
You're lucky with that, because if it would come to buying keyboards, she would be like, either I say, yeah, it's for the company. I have to test out different keyboards. Like the line between business and personal kind of get a little bit blurred, yeah.
Anyways, you mentioned RGB earlier. So what kind of RGB are we going to see here? Is it going to be like a fully programmable per key RGB experience?
Yeah, basically. I don't want to say, I'm going to be very honest about this, is that you see a lot of these gaming brands, they promote like 16.8 million different colors, la-di-la. We don't have that. I mean, we could say like we have a shitload of colors, but the truth is the color combinations is limited to an X amount. I forgot what the amount is again. Anyway, if you want to get 16.8 million color spectrum, you need to have a lot of different gradients. So it's not like that with us. We have a little smaller spectrum, but you don't notice it. That's the biggest thing, because
I think when it comes down to it, no one really cares that there are 16.8 million colors in most RGB boards, because no one's going to use more than like 10.
Well, what if there's some crazy person with like a Pantone book of colorways and they just compare every keycap?
Well, that person has a very sad life.
Yeah.
You know what the biggest problem is with the whole RGB story is that some colors just look like the brightness is a little bit less. And the truth is, the brightness is a bit less to get that color. And it doesn't look good. So in the end, you always pick out these like standard amount of colors that really give it a true sense of the color. And I just wanted to share that. We can say it's like it has all the RGB colors, but it doesn't have the promoted 16.8 million whatever colors.
If anybody doesn't buy this keyboard because of that exact reason, they're not really worth selling this keyboard to you.
Yeah,
that's true. Because if you have that much value for RGB, and when we started, you can only. I'm looking if I can start up this with GUI so I can change it live. There we go. So I just have a couple of different profiles, but I don't think I have a rainbow profile right now. So I just have some different single color profiles. Let me see. So let me see if I can. There used to be a tool here. And it's not there anymore. Okay. Anyway, it has. You can change to every individual key. You can change the colors. There's no limitation. Let me change this live. I'm using the old version, so I can do this. Live demo. I'm changing everything green, apparently.
Oh, it's getting green.
And you can change every individual key to any color you want. There are 4 profiles. One is what we call digital profile. This is always your go-to keyboard profile. So whenever, in whatever situation you are, you can always switch to it and use it as a regular keyboard. And then we have 3 analog profiles. And these are your gaming go-to profiles, which you can change, how you, what the controller buttons are, what the activation point is, all these kind of different things that you would want for gaming. And you can swap between these 3 different profiles. So each profile has their own colors and own settings. That's what I wanted to say.
Cool.
Awesome.
maybe it's time we move on to
News.
a couple news topics. We try to cover some news topics here each episode, and there's actually been a lot this week, apparently.
Yeah.
So we'll try to blaze through some of these more important ones at the very least.
The community is pretty lit when they're not too busy looking at Mac market drama.
What's up? What?
We're probably not going to get into the drama here because it's
Alright.
not really worth talking about live. But
Is it the Penumbra drama again?
what is it not?
What is it not, Bektour?
It's the community's favorite drama.
I'm just seeing it.
It's the same story that's happened 10 times now. And
Well,
At
make a
this
bigger
point,
deal
I'm
about
just
it.
wondering if it's just one crazy dedicated person who just posts every few days about it, or it's different people.
I don't know. I tend not to care that much. I don't really look into it.
but I have some awesome news. Do you guys remember DSA Lightcycle by Evan? Tried running it a few weeks back. Well, now he's running it for real again. So,
Wow.
MX
DSA
and Alps
yeah,
compatibility.
MX
too.
and Alps. Cool, he has the Alps compatibility.
Oh, so I guess I should probably post this. Calder, do you have the Twitch stream open?
Yes, I do.
If you do, you can follow along with the links that we post. I'm not sure how in depth with the day-to-day community you are on RMK or other outlets here, but
Probably not as much on the day-to-day, but in the general sense, I pick up stuff.
okay. So you've probably seen some of this stuff going on then.
Probably. I'm just trying to. For some reason, Twitch is not showing the chat
Uh-oh.
on my side. So let's see.
Do you have the chat closed? Up in the top right corner, there's a little arrow. You can collapse.
There we
and
go.
expand
Yeah,
the
yeah,
chat.
it was collapsed there. Yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Cool. And the link's right there.
So yeah, I
Okay,
posted
link
news
it again.
links.
It's the most recent link by Mr. Quake in chat.
Yeah, it's only a couple messages back.
Okay,
Oh, I see.
only
You-
see
you-
donut
that's-
tape. I just joined in,
That's right.
so.
That's right. Yeah. There you go.
Okay. But
The vacuum.
Brian,
There we
Bektour,
go.
what do you guys think of this set? We talked about it a
Uh,
few months
Yeah,
back.
touched on it before. It's cool.
it's Sky Dodge. Just a different. This is a different sky.
Yeah. I guess so.
And
Which
it's
is
DSA.
fine. I like Skydulch, so I mean by default I
It's kind
General,
of like
so-
mint chocolate chip cookie Sky Dodge.
it is DSA though, which like we don't really see that much of these days anymore.
No,
Honestly,
we
it's
don't.
all SA and GMK these days.
Yeah, the two
So-
giants decking it out.
Yeah. So I like that it's DSA. It's a little bit,
I like
different.
I like that he's
Yeah.
going to have Alps compatibility for it, which is going to be great
Alps
for a
support
ton of
is-
people. Anyone with
I know a lot of people
anyone with a
are really
V60
excited.
that has the Alps switches in will be in heaven. Anyone who has a V80 with Alps switches, the Matthias ones, will love it. If I had either of those boards, perfect reason for me to join this set.
Yep. Good stuff.
And the price seems to be okay.
I didn't even look at the price.
160 for the whole kit, and the base kit is. Oh, the base kit is pretty beefy.
That's
That's
decent.
160 is a reasonable price.
That's how uninterested we are in this set,
Like it.
Brian. We didn't even look at the price. It wasn't even like a consideration for us.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it, but I think it looks cool. The accents look nice.
The accents do look nice.
Actually, funny thing enough is I was actually designing a Tron set like a year ago, like before I'd ever even heard of Lightcycle. And I'm not saying he stole this from me or anything, but it was just
He
it was
read your
it was
mind.
Really, it was really coincidental because I was like, oh yeah, I kind of want to do like a Tron set, but I'm too lazy to be a designer. But I was kind of like planning it out, and like I had kind of like decided how I want it, and then I kind of just like stopped working on it for like a month, and then Lightcycle was announced, and I was like, what? Are you kidding me?
Maybe great minds think alike, Brian.
Yeah, people have confused me for Evan.
On the
We're
show,
both-
that's happened before, yeah.
We're both large white men.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Oh, so
Speaking
making
of-
signature plastics, right? Yeah.
yeah.
Because I'm always surprised when they do double shot and you have custom icons. That's quite unique to do.
Yeah, double shooting the novelties and stuff.
And then it's also DSA. It's very, very, very niche. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you experienced DSA yet?
No, I'm really curious. That's why
It's a very
I think my wife will never understand.
spending,
This is what I'm talking about, Is it for
$160.
business or is it personal? But she'll never understand how you can give out $110 or $160 for keycaps.
For the price of a Wooting 1, you can basically get
Keycaps.
Yes, that's how she's going to think about it. That's what she's going to think about it. So,
Oh yeah, understandably so. That's how everyone is that aren't really in tune with the community. They see something like this, and it's just a bunch of pieces of plastic. Why would you pay $160 for that?
Yeah, but knowing the manufacturing side, I totally understand. That's why I'm surprised it's DSA and there's novelty keycaps in there. What's the experience of DSA keycaps actually? That's my question to you guys.
They're not my favorite, but I like them. It's different because it's a totally flat profile. And it's low profile and it's flat. So, I mean,
is it also when you mount it, does it hang more in the air, or does it also
advertise?
Shameless. Well, it's not even a shameless plug because you're not part of the board, but
It's from the other podcast.
that's the board is one of our sister podcast kind of things.
Oh, you
a
guys
competitor,
have
I
to do that
guess.
as well.
It's
When
a
is the
3D
next
printed
one?
DSA.
Yes,
Yeah,
we're competing for each other's time slots, which we don't share.
Yeah, yeah, and we do our show live as a as a visual thing. We stream it on Twitch, and they're strictly a podcast, which is also
right.
cool. The board is awesome. I
They are
listen to
very
pretty much every
awesome.
episode. They're great.
And Don's wonderful.
Gives a bit more tight scheduled and less interactivity. Yeah.
Yeah, they get a little bit more in depth with news than we do. So,
That's true. Speaking of
Pros and
news,
cons.
Brian, I think you had some news.
oh yeah, we have lots of news. In fact, we should probably run through most of these shorter things really quickly
Let's do that.
because there are a lot of them. So the Planck,
Come
very
back to
very
Massdrop.
very popular 40%.
IMO best
is-
40%.
Coming back to Massdrop. So that's cool if you've been interested in picking one of those up. That's going to be a good time to do it. I hope they don't suffer from the same manufacturing issues as the last run, where the plates were kind of funkily cut.
Yeah, you have to file your own plates for most of them.
Yeah, some people had to file down certain parts of their own plate just to make.
There you go, Brian. Brian just.
Cut off.
What is that?
Oh, we're back.
I don't know what it happens.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just you get farther away until you're just completely gone, and then you just come back full volume out of nowhere.
If you have any software in between your microphone input?
No, not at all. I'm gonna have to figure that out later, though. That's kind of crappy. Has that always happened?
No.
Not
Sometimes.
really. No.
Oh, all right. I guess I'll figure that out later.
Yeah.
Anyways, yes, Planck coming if you like that. What else
So
we got?
also
Sentrac.
Sentracpc, yeah, they teased a S65, 65%, as well as a new 6% high profile case. High profile case looks nice. X65 isn't high profile, so I don't care for it.
Yeah,
That's just the way it is.
That was fast.
yeah. The S65 is cool if you've been looking for that aluminum sandwich style experience in a 65%, because there really aren't any others for that layout. So if you've been waiting on that, then did good stuff. The high profile case is actually pretty interesting to me. I think it looks pretty good. A lot of people have been saying it looks a lot like the Fjell, which I can kind of see.
I can kind of see.
I really don't.
I think it's different enough. I like how it looks too.
I'm familiar enough with Brandon. Brandon being Sentracpc slash Sentrac. He didn't steal this design. I really don't think that's like him. So I think it's different enough. Plus, it's got the really thick acrylic layer in there, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
It's not 100% certain yet, but he did tell me that this price, the price for it should be about $150.
Ooh, I was about to ask about
which
that.
which is pretty attractive, all things considered. So that'll be interesting to see happen.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I'm stoked for that. But yeah, the 65%, whatever.
Looks pretty sweet.
Next up, we have an interest check for an SA set, Metro SA, a die-subbed set.
The case is dropping, by the way. Wait.
What
So
case?
the 60%. The 60%
Oh.
case is dropping. Sorry.
Oh,
The 65% is a sandwich style, so the top part is a plate. Anyways, on to SA Metro.
Hey, you got a little shout out at the end, Ryan.
What?
At the end of SA Metro, at the end, you have a little shout out. I would like to thank Mito, Quakemz, Monkey Plus
Oh.
Plus, Tokyo Coffee Nerd for helping.
Yeah, I didn't really do that much, honestly. But oddly, so what happened? What happened was this is actually kind of a funny story. This set is by Oblotsky, who we're actually probably going to be having on next week, and so he messaged me a while back, and he was like, "Hey, I need your help with something." I was like, "Okay," and he's like, "But I have to talk to you on Skype." I'm like, "Okay." So we Skype, and he shows me like his initial renders for this set, and I'm like, like this set is like really, really wild. It's really out there, and he was trying to get my help with compatibility for non-standard keys, and my mind was just like blown at this set. Personally, it's not for me, but I think it's really different, which kind of makes it interesting. But the compatibility side of it is just like extreme, because see how like all the pipes actually connect.
Yeah.
Like each key goes into a different key. So obviously, when you have a standard layout, it all makes sense. But when you have different keys, when you use like an HHKB layout, for example, you need the specific keys to actually still connect the
pipes.
And we spent like half an hour just like racking our brains over how this is gonna work.
It's awesome though. I see it like there's a Planck on the render, which is an ortholinear, and you can compare that versus the 60% next to it. That's standard, and it works in both.
Yeah, it actually looks awesome on 40%.
Yeah, it does look great.
I don't think it looks quite as good on full size boards, but because the Planck there's no space between each keys, like it's just a grid. I think that works really well. If I were going to get this set, I'd probably get a Planck also.
Same. I'd get the ortho line.
Good thing Plancks are about to be on Massdrop again. Yeah, so this is a cool set. Oblotsky's a cool guy.
Does Oblotsky have a ETA on when he might decide to run it?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
Okay, that's that.
You did not tell me that. But, yeah.
Hey, there's no station. There's no station at the crossing points.
Oh.
Well, we'll have to yell at him for that.
So I found something interesting. A user, I don't want to read that. ABC123, it's easy, posted some pictures of the SA clone Maxkey from China started shipping out, and this person got theirs. Yeah, they're SA clones.
Yeah.
And they look pretty good.
I was about to say this. I don't know what, like, is this like a specific colorway? Or is this just like kind of like a blue on white?
Yeah, blue and white. But it's a clone SA set from China, and it costs like $75.
Really? What kind of compatibility do you get for $75?
I don't know. Probably
is the real question.
Probably TKL, but
because technically you can get SA sets from Sentracpc for not much more expensive than $75 if you're only looking to cover.
Apparently,
like
they also have this in purple as well, purple and white.
Okay, cool. They look pretty good actually, visually. Obviously, SA is still silly, so I don't like to type on it.
Yeah.
Looks really good, yeah.
Well, hopefully
they
start, making more sets, drop down the sets of SA pricing, and if they do customs, that'd be awesome. Man, they already have a one-up on Sentracpc. They ship theirs in trays.
No.
Right?
That's fancy.
From which manufacturer is this?
Maxkeys?
I'm not sure. It says according to the.
Is Maxi just the branding, or is it really the manufacturer? I think it's just the branding.
Oh, it's probably just branding.
Yeah, probably just branding.
Yeah.
But it's SA keycaps from China, and that's gonna be pretty hype.
100.
Someone in chat says it comes with 127 keys, 119 without 1U novelties.
So that for 75-ish bucks, that's for
That
SA.
seems pretty reasonable. Yeah.
That seems great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, in one of these pictures, actually, it shows using split right shift.
Yeah.
So that leads me to believe that it might fully support like an HHKB layout,
Probably.
which would
Why not?
be
Looks
really
like the
cool.
case. Yeah.
Yeah, looks nice too.
Don't Google Max Key, by the way.
Really?
Totally different Max Key.
Max keyboards.
Oh my god.
So I'm looking at Taobao now, so I see now the real Maxi, the Maxi I'm looking for. But if you Google it, it's really terrible. It's
Yeah,
this guy.
Half naked guy.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a group.
I'm sure if our viewers are looking for porn, there are better.
Better ways than Top Clack.
Yeah.
This week on Top Clack.
It's definitely not keyboard porn, though.
Yeah.
For all the keyboard porn, it's all about the lube.
Brian and his loop.
Yeah, I know what I like.
Sounds like a
anyways,
brand, Brian's Lube.
Moving on.
Moving on. Sliding on.
I know nothing about this. So
If anybody knows, I'm very curious who actually makes the Max Key keycaps itself. Okay,
I'm
I
sure
see.
someone with more contact and connections than us will be able to figure it out.
I'm sure someone on chat knows.
Chat, maybe.
Yeah, someone in chat probably does.
Yeah.
Top Clack God mild. Love it. Anyways, moving on. Let's talk about the dolphin.
Yeah, well,
No,
it's only a
that's
dolphin.
all you. I don't
Okay,
know
me?
what this is.
Okay, well, there's a raffle happening on the 4th. That's in 2 days. A group buy raffle if you want to join a group buy for either the Dolphin keyboard or the EM7. One's a fancy TKL and the other one's a fancy split keyboard. There's going to be 50 of each, and it's going to be $530 for the case and PCB and plates.
Wait, for like either one of them?
Either
Each
one.
one is
$530 for all of that.
That is a hard pill to swallow.
Man,
in my
and
opinion.
remember 3 weeks ago when we had the LZ CLS and we thought that was like really, really high? That was the same amount too. We were like, man.
That was cheaper, right? That was like $470 or
No,
$480.
I think it was like $500 on the dollar maybe. It might be a 4 something, but yeah, this one is even pricier. And USA shipping $82.
Oh.
Asian shipping
You know what?
$82 for US shipping.
Where do they ship it from?
Usually
The moon?
usually
Australia?
Korea. I believe they ship it from South Korea.
Okay, so this is not made in China then?
I mean,
Because that
usually
might be why it's so expensive.
It's probably made in China.
it's probably made in
but-
China, but they just ship it to the person in Korea who does the group buy
Okay.
part.
Which you see.
I can be done much better job than 86.
Yeah.
86 is great. It was bananas. That is
Shipping,
literally
yeah.
shipping it with, I think, with a courier from Korea, and yeah, that's literally shipping it with a courier from Korea, like DHR or TNT.
Each board
and
is
having
like
a special
each board
rate.
is like four pounds, I think.
Yeah.
4 pounds.
But
Oh, 4 pounds also. Oh, damn.
wait, how much 4 pounds is normal units?
A normal unit.
Oh no, wait,
It doesn't
I'm wrong.
matter.
4 pounds is actually not that bad.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
1.8
units.
kilograms. It's 2 kilograms. Hey, is that I can do a better price with EMS from Japan.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
blame the
Yeah.
Koreans. That's the current estimate, but they say it should be extremely close.
That's,
And that's
That's
their
very
and that's their
safe.
EMS
That's
price.
Watch that go up to 100.
that's double the price for US shipping. Totally. It
Yeah.
costed me around that to ship
Well, I wonder.
5 kilogram board.
I almost wonder if for that price you're paying for the boards to be shipped from the factory to him, and then from him to you. So you're almost
Yeah,
paying
that's probably the case.
two levels of shipping.
Yeah,
in a way.
that's probably it.
How many keyboards usually go through with this?
Well, this one there's only 50 of each, so a total of 100.
All right, so that's already quite limited, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Most Korean customs are usually in that range anyways. Very few of them will sell, more than 150 or 200 units.
Yep.
A lot of them limit the group buys intentionally anyways.
you have 50, like if you, they have a lot of, if you have like 100 keyboards weighing 4 pounds, then you can just go by boat or to South Korea, and that you're really paying cents on the keyboard. So that shouldn't be a big issue.
Well,
Just
Just have a keyboard boat.
the issue is a lot of people that run these group buys don't really know enough about each shipping method and like what would be
Right.
the best value. They just kind of do it like, I need to get these to me. So like, how can I do that
Yeah, sure.
right now and like price is irrelevant because the consumer's paying for it. So. But it does suck for people that actually want this board. This is not even a full keyboard. It's just
No.
the case, the plate for $530 plus $82 shipping. So you're looking at
Over
$600,
and you still
just
gotta
to
get
get
switches, and you still gotta solder it yourself.
Yep,
it's
switches,
only the
cables,
casing, to be
caps,
clear,
yeah.
right?
Case, plate, and PCB.
Yeah,
Case
plate
plate PCB. Okay.
for over $600.
So that's only 2 different SKUs, right? Like 2 different variants, or there are also variants in both cases.
Color
Like-
variants. They're
Only
both
color
they're both
variants?
available in silver, black, gray, and champagne gold.
Whoa, man! With 50 okay.
Anyways,
But yeah, if you're
they're
interested,
they're neat looking products, but oh my god, that price.
yeah, if you're interested, go check out the link. Bit much for me.
Even by crazy keyboard standards, is too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I dropped, $350 or whatever on the X60, and I'm still like, every other day I'm like, oh, that was really expensive. I couldn't imagine spending, $750 to complete a keyboard.
That's
or
how a
whatever.
person who's gonna buy my Model M15 is gonna feel.
I have to react to Tokyo Coffee Nerd that. I was actually-
so the Wooting should be like
That's like a really
$300.
good. That's a really good comment. But in the gaming community, it's like the story is like flip side.
It's a race to the bottom.
Obviously, boards like the Dolphin and the EM7 are not targeted towards people that are buying Corsair K70s. These are targeted towards like hardcore enthusiasts that already own Duck products and K-Max and stuff like that.
I'm just really thinking about how these kind of logistics, right? There are just some simple steps you can take, and you can get a lot cheaper.
I think they take those steps. They just want the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can totally understand. I mean, personally, looking back, we went through a major challenge, dude, and I've learned a lot in this period. I'm just feeling that, like, with these kind of drops, if shipping becomes these kind of rates, then I really feel like, well, I have alternatives how you can do that for much less. So, and if waiting is never the waiting for it is never an issue, then let me tell you, for example, with EMS, simplest solution with EMS, you can also do boat shipments. It takes a month to ship, but it's cheaper than air shipments. That's already one of the things, and that would not be a lot more trouble. Yeah. So I'm thinking more of a business way, like, if this is like the biggest issue with all these drops, then there are alternatives.
No doubt. But like I said, the people running these aren't experts on shipment methods. They're just
guys who really like
shipping's not their
keyboards.
top priority.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understandable.
Anyways,
Moving on. I think this is.
not that they should.
I think this is pretty cool. I guess I'll post it 'cause I have it here. MX Speed silver switches are going into wide distribution from Cherry now, meaning other people can buy them. Someone in the comment section of that thread commented that the minimum order is 20,000 units, which is really reasonable actually for
Cherry,
switches.
yeah, that's crazy.
That's someone commented after. It's basically just 200 orders of 104 keys each. That's not too bad. So, anyone gonna do a group buy? I haven't tried these switches actually, so I don't know at all how they feel.
I haven't either. I have heard that the travel distance is shorter, right?
Yeah, it's
the overall
1.2
travel
instead of 1.2 instead of 2. And the
Okay.
total travel is 3.4 instead of 4.
instead of 4. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how I'd feel about that. I kind of like the normal travel distance of switches. I think shorter switches, like, because if you put like O-rings on your switch, that reduces travel. Obviously,
It's miserable.
it doesn't feel that good. Yeah, it feels like it's like super low profile. Like I'm typing on like a laptop or something.
I just don't like
I
the
don't really care for
spongy.
that.
I don't like the sponginess either of the O-ring.
That too,
It's
but
the worst.
yeah, I want to try these, but not enough to try to get some via this method.
I'd get them in the ducky pocket. That's probably as far as I'd go in trying them.
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot that it was offered here. That switch actually might make more sense on something like a ducky pocket even.
Can I get those super fast and responsive calculations, Brian? Can I get my CPM up?
Other than the travel distance and overall distance changes, it's an MX Red, right?
Yep. Yeah. 45 gram actuation.
I think that's the point I don't like about it, because activation point's so high and they're so light to touch. I think the accidents if you already accidentally press keys with red switches, it's now going to be multiplied. But you're going to have more accidental presses with this switch.
Huey, you should answer that question in chat right now.
Which
That's
question?
I answer for you.
Or just answer like in audio.
Oh, am I going to the mini meeting thing on Sunday? Probably.
That
There
was
you go.
easy.
That was easy. Bring cool boards, right?
No, I'm not. I'm bringing like one board. Be lame. I'm gonna be an observer if I go. It's gonna be awesome. Okay, but yeah. So MX Speed silver switches. I think we might be seeing other keyboard manufacturers put out their own boards with these switches in the future, especially other gaming companies. Gaming keyboard companies. Yeah, maybe Massdrop will do something like a group buy. I don't think so.
But yeah, that'd be cool, but probably won't happen.
Moving on, since we have so much news, I know it's been teased a lot this last month, but the Idea 23 Artisan giveaway and sale finally happened 2 days ago. He had like 4 or 5 teaser posts leading up to this. Yeah, a lot of people like his caps. They look pretty clean.
Yeah, they're very neat.
Calder, do you have any experience with Artisan keycaps? Do you own any Artisan
I don't
keycaps?
own one, but I've been having an eye on a couple for a while. It's just what is it from Brocaps? I think it is. No, Holy Oops. That's it. Holy Oops. Where they're more aluminum style.
Two very different.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Brocaps is a lot more artisan. No, Holy Oops is totally different machine. Everything,
Just
but
cool. Just cool. Stuff.
Yeah, they have
I'm
really
really-
cool novelties.
yeah, I'm really amazed about how they managed to do that in their production. That's
clean.
that's why I'm really interested in what they do. Yeah, multiple colors also on aluminum. It's pretty awesome.
P Wade in chat says exactly what I was thinking too. They're cool looking, but they don't really go with much.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Yeah,
pretty wild.
The Idea
wild
23s,
space.
yeah, they're really sparkly and they're really loud.
Yeah.
Not many sets, not many SA sets are very loud.
Yep.
Like that.
So there's
Sorry.
that.
I'm looking at the pictures now. This one, that's pretty nice. This will go really well with anything. I think. But that's me though.
All right. Originative doing stuff.
Oh yeah, GMK Blue Alert. It's like Red Alert but blue.
Yep. Sheraton says this is kind of an homage or rehash of Olivetti.
Yep.
Which
the blue is slightly different.
Which is a nice key set. It's not bad.
Decent price. 145 GMK.
Yep, that's pretty reasonable. Hard to argue with that. There is also a international kit for an additional $42. That seems a little steep, but the base kit isn't too bad.
Okay.
Yeah. What else we got? What is
There's
this?
Can we skip this
really,
one?
There's
Skip that
a
one?
really long review on Clueboard by someone.
Yes, there is. Let's talk about that. Brian, I think you had a Clueboard thing you did. Words.
Yeah,
happens.
I mean, there's not much to say. If Scully, owner of Clueboard, gave me, well, he didn't give me. I'm sorry. He temporarily lent me one of his fancy new all aluminum Clueboards for review, and so I did it, and then I sent it back to him. If you want to know my opinions exactly, definitely check out the review. I posted this like a few days ago. It's a pretty, I mean, it's not that long of a review, but overall, it's a cool board. If you really like that form factor, the quality is good and the price is pretty reasonable. Other than that, it's not a mind-blowing product. But there are some neat features that I actually didn't know existed in that board until I got down and dirty with it. But definitely check out the review if it's something you're interested in.
And that's it for the news topics today.
You want to skip that one too?
I mean, look at it, and you'll be like, "Hey, don't care."
My girlfriend's really excited for that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I might have to share it, right?
I
Is there a choice now?
Well, if you want to bring it up, I don't care for it.
Well, let's bring it up for a
What?
second.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't care about this.
Is that the Q&A for like?
No.
So GMK Rainbow is a thing, and apparently it just hit its first MOQ of 150. The group
In
by
China.
ends. Is that okay? So that's actually not.
the Chinese group buy, yeah. I mean, you can enter. It's just the enter through Taobao.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Don't they already have?
No, not
these?
Taobao. They're on Z Frontier. They're on Z Frontier.
Oh, that's right. That newer site.
New site, yeah.
The newer group buy site. Yep. So there's that. So I assume the MOQ for Americans will be different, or something. Is that how they're doing it?
What? No. It's international.
No.
You can order as an American from Z Frontier.
Okay, so this MOQ still applies to everyone.
Yeah, it's international MOQ, just for everyone.
Okay,
yeah.
so there's that. We just hit 150. At 250 is when it ends. Then yeah, I know a lot of people are really not into this key set, and that's fine. I'm not either, but my girlfriend was like, "Oh, I gotta have that."
The worst
it's very-
GMK set I
Yeah.
have ever seen in my life.
It's pretty bad.
Bad.
I mean, I'm one of those people that likes the boring key sets. Like, I actually just locked down a trade for GMK 9009, and I'm like really happy about it because it's like my favorite set, and it's just black and beige. So
I'm just waiting for GMK Muted.
this set is like exactly the opposite of GMK 9009. So it's very much not my favorite. Anyways.
So
There's
when,
that.
in the future, if people ask me, Huey, what's the worst GMK set in your opinion? GMK Rainbow.
I'm surprised it's even with GMK.
I'm surprised it made MOQ. 150,
GMK
at least
Wait, they
150
reached it?
people said, not only do I like that, I want to put money toward that.
Wait, they reached it. What, really?
They reached
What?
the first one. They reached 150 orders, and the group buy will end when they reach 250.
What?
And
Okay.
internationally, they will probably reach that. Probably.
I mean, price alone
Well-
isn't horrible. $138 for GMK.
It's not
But
bad.
you're paying for that design, which is The issue. That's the issue.
I can imagine though that you want to. I see it like kind of like Skittle keycaps. So I guess you can make a fun. Yeah, so you can make a fun keyboard, Skittle keyboard.
Someone in Twitch chat actually pointed out something kind of good. Is this key set you could also basically use like as a bunch of accent keys.
Oh,
I guess, yeah, but that's expensive for a few accent keys.
Obviously, it could be cheaper depending on what you're looking for, but this will get you a full set of accent keys.
when you really wanted that, that yellow accented O on your keyboard.
It's an alternative key set. Anyways,
that's that for
let's move on to a Q&A.
Yeah, let's move on to Q&A. So I know there's a lot of people in the chat earlier who had a ton of questions for Calder and the Wooting 1 keyboard. Feel free to shoot him in chat now, and we'll talk about those with him, or if you have any questions for Bektour, Brian, or myself, or Calder in general, we'll get to those. But while we wait for those, Calder, I have a very serious question. This is the question we ask almost every single Top Clack guest, which is, do you like pancakes or waffles more?
I have to go with pancakes.
Yes, pancakes. Team pancakes.
Okay, well, I have to think carefully, but wait. There's a
caveat. There's always a caveat.
But right, okay, not American pancakes. Okay, so when I say pancakes,
what is a pancake to you?
Okay.
This is interesting.
Let me show you real pancakes, okay?
Real
Not those American, stolen from Canada type of maple pancakes. Okay?
Maybe these are like crepes or crepes. Not
Such
crepes.
a hater over here.
Yeah.
Because I guess that's an image of.
Yeah, that's the proper pancakes.
Oh yeah.
Bektour knows.
Yeah, those are good.
Yeah.
In America, we call those like Swedish pancakes.
Swedish?
Or something like that. Yeah, I think people refer to them as Swedish pancakes.
In Holland, it's a thing. These kind of pancakes, that's the thing in Holland also. They have like pancake restaurants only selling these in salty, sweet, and different variants. So.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of savory pancakes. So this is kind of like a crepe almost.
Mm-hmm.
Crepe is a bit more. It's a little bit thinner. Crepe is a bit thinner, and it's a bit. I guess it could be more. Crepe is a lot more crunchy. Depends on which version you get. They have different versions, but you have the crunchy crepe. You have like soft crepe.
Crepe. All right. Anyways, you still chose pancakes, which is the right answer.
Pancakes,
so
yeah.
That's what matters.
How about like waffles though?
Yeah, I mean, of course I like waffles, but just it can't win from pancakes. Yeah.
Yep, that's
and you know there are different waffles, right? Let's make that fair too.
You can like both of them. There's nothing wrong with liking both.
It's wrong if you prefer waffles over pancakes. There's nothing wrong with liking both. You just pancakes first.
Pancakes are so versatile. Waffles is so limited.
Mm-hmm. Brian, is there a question for us?
Actually, a couple questions for me. So Waymo in chat asks, "Who's making my plum pie?" So for those of you that aren't in the know, our guest next week is probably going to be Oblatsky. And 2 weeks ago, I made a bet with him revolving around GMK Plum and how many units it would sell. I have lost the bet, and the loser is supposed to attempt to eat an entire plum pie. So that will probably be happening next episode if you want to watch me make a fool of myself. Right on. So yeah, I'll probably be making it, or my girlfriend will, or we'll make it together or something. We're making some kind of
You
plum
guys
pie.
should stream it.
Top Clack eats.
Top Clack bakes.
Dude, I would drop knowledge bombs in the kitchen, man. Let me tell you. Anyways. So yeah, that'll most likely be happening next week when he's on the show, so that way he can make fun of me while it happens. If anyone actually cares, I had guessed that Plum would sell 475 units in the first 24 hours and 1,050 overall. His guess was 525 in the first 24 hours and 1450 overall. Clearly, I'm not as in tune with the community as I thought I was, because Plum sold like 550 in the first 24 hours, and like I think with the Taobao orders, it crossed 1,600 orders overall.
Yep.
Taobao ordered like 200 or 300 or something like that.
I didn't get it. I was really considering it, but I just couldn't pull the trigger.
For me, it was I either get GMK Plum or I get GMK Nautilus, and I like Nautilus a little bit more. So I'm going to be saving my Plum dollars for Nautilus while I cry and eat a whole plum pie.
Womp womp womp.
Anyways,
questions.
Yaguo asks me which prominent, that's quoted, members are attended the Seattle meetup in July. So off the top of my head, Huey is going to be flying in. Rama is going to be flying in. Nerdly is going to be flying in. J-Chan's going to be flying in. I'll be there.
Prominent.
July when?
July 22nd at the Seattle Living Computer Museum.
I'm going to be like only like a few days after in LA, probably.
Yeah, I mean Rama's going to be there, so like
it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. You have to try to get there if Rama's coming. I've had a couple other people tell me that they're going to be there. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm sorry. I need to make a list actually. But it's gonna be pretty poppin'. There's gonna be some cool people. Yeah. So there's that.
Is there a link of the?
No, I haven't made a post for it yet. It's still, almost 5 months out. So I didn't want to jump on it too soon yet.
Questions.
So,
any other questions in chat?
Yeah, there are.
Okay, here we go. Tokyo Coffee Nerd wants to ask what keycaps are on the Wooting. See that?
I mean, in the beginning, these are your standard type of single ABS keycaps with black painted, lasered, UV coated. In the beginning, I was really fighting and trying to find double shot keycaps to have it on the keyboard. But wow, it was it was too difficult. That's what it came down to. Because most of the keycaps I could get double shot were these Chinese type of legends, and they really turned me off.
Hold on, I think I have exactly what you're talking about right next to me. So you can go on.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, you have to show it. These Chinese, like, the first thing was that time double shots. There were two things. One was all the double shots I could get on the market for the keyboard were really ugly Chinese legends, or they were kind of okay, but then they still had this like split at B's and D's because of this double shot thing. Especially if you go to the shift and stuff. Shift and caps lock, for example. These are still quite okay. If you look at shift and control and that kind of stuff, and F9.
Yeah, these ones aren't the worst I've ever seen.
I've seen worse.
The ones that come on like the Magic Force are. I have
a Magic Force in the box here.
Yeah, but these ones are also, the legends are pretty bad. But these are double shot, which is nice. I will be doing a giveaway for this, by the way.
I have to give them credit though for the double shot quality is pretty decent. Especially, I think the ones I got on my Magic Force, I got for that time. The double shot quality was pretty decent, but just the legends were so terrible. So in the end, I just went with what we could do, which was make our own. Because we could, you could just take the standard keycap profile and you can laser whatever you want on the keycaps. So we made our own whole. Was it how would you call that? Legends, I guess. Mm-hmm. Made all our own legends. So everything, all the keycaps on the keyboard are our own, are made by us. Yeah.
Cool. Let's see what else we got here. Someone made a subreddit for me. Uh-oh. That's one of the scariest things I've ever heard.
That's a little disturbing.
I don't. I'll have to find out what that is later, because that's kind of scary. Tokyo Coffee Nerd also asked Calder, will you be using military metal for the Wooting?
Military grade metal.
Well,
He just says military metal.
let me
afterwards he corrects himself.
What is military grade? What kind of, is there like military grade aluminum or something?
Yeah, but I think overall people don't really care.
Because
honestly.
I've seen some like companies that would like promote that they're using air grade aluminum or something like that. Aircraft aluminum. I'm like, oh my god, that's really not that special.
Yeah, and I think that's like, it's not necessarily not worth pointing out, but as far as like keyboards go, it's kind of more just like marketing jargon.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. So I can tell you, it's air grade, air grade aluminum.
But you can call your keyboard airworthy after that. Like, technically, it's airworthy.
Is the Wooting housing fully aluminum?
Yeah. No. So put it this way. So
Plastic bottom, aluminum top.
Let me start off. You do have a lot of different type of aluminum material, but when they say military grade or air grade, it doesn't say anything really about the quality of the material you're going to get. Differences in aluminum is most of the time how flexible is it, and it's more of kind of question how much junk did I mix it with, kind of in that way. How pure is it? And with aluminum, if you make it too stiff, it becomes brittle. If you make it too soft, it becomes too flexible. So just a couple of parameters there. Okay. So with our keyboard, we have the top plate. We have the top plate is all aluminum. So this whole top area, and you can't see, like if you look at from top down, like 99% is the aluminum, but the bottom case is made from plastic.
Okay.
And if the question is like, what kind of, because it's, let me unplug this before I click stuff again. If the question is kind of like, with ABS plastic, this is another, so you can learn something about it. ABS plastic, what's very, very important with plastic is some manufacturers, they will mix the original plastic with recycled plastic, and there's a certain balance of what you can mix for the quality of the plastic. So often what would happen with some manufacturers is that they give you a sample where they have like a balance of 80-20, for example, of new plastics with recycled plastics, and the quality is great, but then once they go into mass production, they'll just start mixing with more recycled plastic because it's cheaper, obviously, for them. And then you get this like flexible ABS plastic that is easier to break. And with this keyboard, there's almost no flex. So that's just another thingy with manufacturing.
There's everyone's lesson for today. All ABS plastic is not created equal.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. What else we got here? Saw a few more. Another one for you, Calder. Did you spend time in China developing the board, or mostly by remote?
Most of it is remote, actually. The way we work is that my two partners, Jeroen and Erik, they live in the Netherlands, and I'm the one that lives in Taiwan. And now just recently, Jeroen decided to stay in Taiwan also for 1 year, so he's joining me on my side. But during the development time, it was mostly communicating with them a lot for the design. First with the design of the keyboard, was communicating a lot with Erik that time and making drawings, and then we had a guy in the Netherlands that made a 3D render out of it and more of a mechanical design out of it. And then with the manufacturer we're working with is actually a Taiwanese company. So in that way, I was able to visit their office and talk and check. But the actual engineering department of that company is in China. So when it came down to checking material, or whenever it comes down to checking materials or checking anything, it's sent to Taiwan first, and then I can go check it here. And otherwise, it's made. If it's anything digital, it's just made there and sent. But I'm not sitting next to somebody there. Yeah. So a lot of the stuff we do is remote, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Sam Mooper asks all of us, do y'all think that Coniferous, that's GMK Coniferous, is going to sell? Is going to sell for a shit ton on r/mech market because of how few sets were sold in the GB. So Coniferous hit MOQ the other day, which is cool. Will it be sold for a bunch on mech market because of its limited rarity? I don't know, honestly. Probably a little
at price plus $5 to $10 is my guess.
Yeah, it's probably gonna have like a little bit of a markup for retail, but I think, in all honesty, the community doesn't care that much about the set. So the only people that are really going to be trying to scoop it up on mech market are going to be people that completely missed the group buy, but actually wanted the set in the group buy. Whereas, something with like 9009, where like not that many people entered, then all of a sudden everybody wanted it after it shipped. So
now it's going for like 280.
Yeah, someone was selling it for like 310 the other day. I'm like, Jesus. So yeah, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think if you want it, it's probably going to be just a little bit over retail. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out, I guess.
We'll have to see.
Calder, do you plan on selling the switches by themselves? And also, or does the software require special PCB or something?
So when it comes to using the switches, you do need to have a special PCB because you need the IR and the sensor if you don't have those, and they need to be positioned at a specific location to connect with the switch. So basically, with the FlareTech switches, you would only be able to use them on our keyboard, and perhaps. And if in the future other keyboards come with FlareTech switches, you would be able to swap them in between. There's no special software required or something like that. But yeah, PCB is important. Selling the switches separately, we will be selling switches separately, yes. It's just that we recently got the go-ahead or the approval that we're allowed to sell them separately, and we're right now looking at how we're going to do that. So not sure about that yet.
Yeah, that'll be interesting because of that not proprietary, but because of that specific PCB technology that you need for these switches. It's not like people like us are just going to go out and buy a bunch of them and then use them in our normal keyboards, because that's not how it works.
Yeah, exactly. So we're kind of then the only people that can buy it right now are the people that bought our keyboards. So.
Yeah, exactly.
It's quite a limited market, but I still want to start selling them separate because it's one of the perks of having the keyboard. And just kind of the question.
Being able to buy like the model with the blue switches, and then being like, maybe I want to try reds. So instead of buying a whole other keyboard, you just buy the reds so that you can swap out all your switches and be able to have both experiences for not as much money.
Yeah, exactly this. And I do have to say, though, that for the same reason, we also ship every keyboard with 4 of the blue and 4 of the red switches. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really good.
So you always have like reserves for if you break it somehow, and you always have the other color or the other switch type to try out. So it really becomes more and more interesting as we have maybe a third type of switch. So it's kind of like figuring out what we're going to do.
Yeah. Someone's asking, are you going to be using mini USB, micro, or Type-C?
Oh my gosh, that was such a big story in the beginning of the development. Like, in the game we were like, okay, we should be really ahead of everything. We should start using USB-C. And we're really new with everything that time, and USB-C was kind of hard to get your hands on, and it just felt really unnecessary for what the keyboard has to do. Like, it doesn't add any value other than the port. And in the end, we decided, especially that time, let's go with micro USB. So there's now, you can see here, there's micro USB there. And we didn't go for mini USB. I know what a lot of people are going to say about these connectors breaking or something like that. But
I think no matter which one you end up with, people are going to complain for one reason or another. So
exactly,
it doesn't really matter.
It's exactly for this reason, and the fact is just the micro one is smaller and it's easier to get a new cable or other cable on the market than the mini.
Yeah, and especially it used to be years ago where basically every keyboard in the community, customer or otherwise, was using mini.
Oh, your voice just went down.
Yep, it's like you're going into a tunnel and you're leaving a tunnel.
Skype is suppressing you.
I think it's his microphone.
I mean, if it didn't happen with my other microphone, it's probably this microphone.
That's normal again. I think it's. I remember having this with somebody else as well, and it's Windows trying to change your microphone input volume or something like that.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out. What was I going to say? Shit. What were we just talking about?
The cables.
Cables.
micro.
Okay. Yeah. Mini used to be like basically what everybody used, but now it's like, especially there's so many cable makers on the market these days. Like custom people that make their own custom cables for other people.
Yeah.
They have their own shops and such. They stock both types anyways, so.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So you can get custom cables in like pretty much whatever version you want nowadays. So it doesn't really matter how important.
No, I do have to be honest though, and I'll just say this right now: is that we tried something new with the cable gutter. As you can see, there's like these clips here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Uh-oh.
What? No. The clips don't break easily. They're really, really sturdy. But
okay.
They're really, really sturdy.
That's the problem.
So, yeah. Because they're so sturdy, like what we're aiming for, as you can see, there's quite a lot of space underneath, right, on the bottom. So what we're aiming for is that you could just fit in any type of cable, even would be custom. But now because the top here is too sturdy and the edges are not rounded enough, if you really try to put in a really thick cable, it becomes a bit difficult. So
yeah.
The cable we give, for example, is a braided cable, and that one just goes easily and smooth, and there's no issue. And you can put in other standard cables, but when you really get to a custom cable, a thicker custom cable, you'll have some troubles, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, that's.
Yeah, I know. I like the Magic Force in particular. That was kind of a problem because it's just like one set thing, and if you have if you had like
and this was long too.
On your, and it kind of sucked to use without it because it just like it props up the board a little bit. It's just not a very elegant solution. But like if your cable had tech flex or too thick of braiding, you just couldn't put it there.
That sucks though.
Well,
I think.
shit.
I think the depth it's really deep here, so it should be quite okay. And you can break the clips in the worst case. I wouldn't like. If I were you, I just don't like breaking stuff. But
send them to me. I'll break all the clips for you.
I really, really want to.
So, are there any last questions as we start to wrap up? Starting to go over time. I guess this might be a good one. Calder, would Wooting consider making a high-end non-RGB aluminum case version for the enthusiast community?
Oh, because I've previously I worked in the bicycle business. I have nothing to do with bicycles, by the way, personally. Other than I'm from Holland and I like commuting from A to B with a bicycle. So I'm not interested in bicycles, though. Anyway, I know this really great CNC manufacturer, and I've always been interested to in general make a aluminum casing. And we are definitely going to explore that road. I don't think we'll have a mass production version, but we're definitely going to make some samples with aluminum casing, see how it goes, and see what the effect is. Yeah, but not very, very soon or something like that. It's just something that slowly builds up.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's see.
And non-RGB, the RGB, I just have to say that. The price difference between putting white LEDs and RGB LED inside is almost non-existent, and not putting any RGB, like no backlighting in a keyboard, is not. It's not that much of a price difference, if that makes sense. I'm just being fully honest about it. Like, it doesn't jump up the price by like $30 just like that or something like that.
For quick interjection here, actually touching on that point, I thought it would be kind of interesting to write a review or multiple reviews of like the cheapest mechanical keyboards on the market, because I've been writing reviews for a while, and some of my best received ones are always, and the most popular ones are often on like the budget oriented products, like the Magic Force, the pluggable board I did. And so I actually recently just picked up this Velocifier.
Why, Brian? Why are you doing this?
Strictly to review, and then give it away, probably.
You know how it's gonna type.
This is a $30 mechanical keyboard. $30.
Whoa.
$30 US. It does have backlighting, and there are several effects and brightnesses for the backlighting even. So touching on that point that LEDs, like backlit in general, is not expensive, this is proof of that. This is a $30 keyboard on Amazon, and it is mechanical.
Yep.
So look forward to a review to that, because it's an interesting keyboard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really don't. What kind of switches are inside, by the way?
This model has Zorro Browns, and I think this one is only available in those switches. And spoiler alert, it's probably the worst mechanical switch I've ever used.
That's fair.
But also, spoiler, the rest of the keyboard is surprisingly not bad.
Well, I'll tell you this, okay? The most expensive part about the keyboard in general is always the switch. So,
Yep.
if you
we know that much.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, and then the other parts are considerably okay. Yeah.
For us, switch price increases when we start adding lube and we switch the springs out. Sometimes we'll swap sliders from other switches into certain housings of certain switches, and
you start with stuff like Zelios, so you already pay like $1 per switch, and then you start modding it
on top of that. Yeah, it adds up quick.
Then it gets really high.
That's another reason, as enthusiasts, we like small boards, less switches, less money to spend.
That's very true.
There's a perfect reason for it.
Yep. Another question for you, Calder. Is there a difference between the red and blue switches, or is it, like, besides the stem?
As in aesthetics?
Yeah, just anything. Are there any other differences? Like, could you take the sliders from one, swap them in the other, and then you'll have that switch, for example?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Cool. I think internally, the only difference between the two, also with actuation, the only difference between the two is that the one has the click, so the whole click mechanism inside, and the other one doesn't. That's the only difference between the two.
Like a cherry switch, that mechanism is on the stem. So if you bring that stem from one housing to another, it's still the clicky switch.
Well, I guess you put it that way. Yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, okay, the stem of the blue switch is slightly different from the red one at this moment, meaning the shape of the stem. So if you're gonna swap it around, then you do need to have that extra plastic for the click.
On the stem, though, right?
Yeah, on the stem, yeah. It's best to keep it on. You could take it off and swap it around, but it's best to keep it on because it also adds more stability to the switch.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. And if you don't like the click, you just get out the metal plate.
Yeah. Cool. All right.
Did we ask about naked mannequins and with hats in the background?
You're muted, Huey.
Well,
Huey, you're muted. You're muted.
I think that's okay. Sorry, Brian. I think that's a great last question to end on. Oh, wait, what is the deal with the mannequins with the hat?
Were they really distracting?
to someone in the chat, yes.
I actually didn't even notice until like most of the way through the call.
I guess we're temporarily staying in a house, and in this room there's some old stuff from my wife's family, and her auntie used to own a clothing shop. So.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that'll.
I was hoping it was actually like a weird or interesting reason.
We hang our clothing. We use it. Sometimes we put it there to make make us feel like we're together with people, so we still don't feel. Yeah.
I'd like to have one so I can drive in the carpool lane.
The carpooling lane.
Huey wants
That
to have
would
one.
That's terrible.
They stop you, just say that you have some kind of like mental condition, and you're really offended if they don't see it as a person.
They'd be like, "You shouldn't be driving."
my mannequin identifies as a person. Thank you.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you gotta get political on them.
Well, let's roll this outro tape.
Outro.
Well, thank you everyone who tuned in tonight to watch us. Thank you, Calder, so much for joining us tonight and being our wonderful guest and letting us know a lot more about Wooting keyboards.
Thanks, thanks for hosting me. I'm really happy to join. It's quite fun, actually.
We like to keep it casual here.
Yeah. So everyone in chat, feel free to check out Wooting keyboards if the idea of analog keyboards interests you. You learned a lot tonight. So
do you have a link to the site? A link to your site, the Wooting site? You can just put in chat real quick.
Also, Wooting has live streams as well, so feel free to check them out. Actually, pretty cool.
I'm trying to avoid too much self-promotion. So I'm a bit quiet about everything.
No worries.
That, but,
Promote as little or as much as you want.
It's just Wooting.nl. So thank you everyone so much for watching. I'm going to keep talking for another 5 seconds, so when I cut it off, it doesn't cut off at a weird time. And let's cut off.